Hey guys, it's Nathan from the Kentucky Cycling YouTube channel. We are down in Jamestown, Tennessee, where we are going to do a bikepacking overnighter starting at Pickett CCC Memorial State Park and heading out into the Big South Fork National River and Recreation Area. This will be our third bikepacking adventure down here. The first we actually have posted as a route starting up at the Kentucky end of things as a gravel overnighter on the KentuckyCycling.org website. And so I'll include a link to that in the YouTube description. And the second one I actually did with a member of the Central Kentucky Bikepackers Facebook group starting at Bandy Creek. And then riding a part of the Imba Epic loop. So that one actually was predominantly single track, but it was sort of mostly single track with some gravel. And this particular route was developed by Joe Cross. Joe is a big advocate for cycling in Big South Fork and put together this route. Maybe they're a mountain biker, maybe they're a gravel biker, but they actually could come out here and do an overnight trip starting at Pickett State Park and then heading off in a loop fashion up into Kentucky, predominantly in the Big South Fork National River and Recreation Area. This particular route actually does overlap some with the gravel route that we did and is predominantly gravel, even more so actually than the route that we did. It's probably about 80% gravel, maybe about 5% pavement, and then the remaining 15%, tomorrow we're gonna do a section, about a 9-mile section of single track that is supposed to be very rideable, can be ridden even on a gravel bike. One difference from the route that we did a few years back, in that route we actually moved counterclockwise around the loop, and this time we're actually going to move clockwise, so it'll actually have a different feel even in the roads that actually do overlap. And we're going to make our way up to the Great Meadows Campground tonight. We'll ride about 28.5 miles, and then tomorrow we'll ride about 27.5 miles, finishing the loop back to Pickett. Really looking forward. We're here in fall for sure, but we're not quite to peak, but dare say that there's going to be some pretty footage in this video to look at and hopefully inspire you to come on and check this out. Really looking forward to it. All right, we come to an intersection and we're going left on Lizzie Sharp Road. I'm getting ready to have a big descent, which we'll have to give back. Pretty rough through here. Ooh, man, washed out. Going down, down, down. Heading on down. Ooh, steep. This is very reminiscent of our LaRue County ride that we do in Kentucky along the Rolling Fork River. Really pretty. Ooh, there's my creek bed through here. So literally just off the side of the road, got an old family cemetery, and this says settled in Kentucky 1799. Pretty cool. Turn for Kentucky 167, and it's going to be about a 2-mile climb on the road up to our next turn, which, just to prepare you, there's about a 1/4 mile of climbing on this last forest road before you get to this road. So it's about 2 1/4 miles of total climbing. Coming up on Parker's Mountain Fire Road, 564. So we are at what is marked on the route as an overlook of Kentucky. What's kind of cool is Great Meadows Campground, as the crow flies, is basically right down there. And that's where we're heading tonight, but we're going to take a roundabout way to get there. We still got about 10 miles of riding, maybe a little less, and we're going to go around and head down and ride along Rock Creek and get very, very scenic. Cool place for a photo on. Taking a right and heading towards Great Meadow Campground. that hill to an intersection with Bell Farm Road. You can see we're going off to the right here, but there's a main road that goes up this way. And Bell Farm Horse Camp is right up here, which is another camping option that Joe had identified. So we'll pop in there and check that out. Climb of the day starts right here, but we're gonna dip off left. So this looks unoccupied, which would have been a lot more quiet than where we were last night. We had a lot of generators going on our loop, and then the other loop, which didn't have generators, was full up. So this looks like a nice place. If you were looking for a shorter experience, I think we tacked on about 4 miles in each direction by going down to Great Meadow. But yeah, nice place, and you know, hopefully it wouldn't create tension. I mean, obviously this is set up for horses and catering to horses, so obviously be respectful if you decide to stay here of any horses and horseback riders who are here. Still climbing, but it starts to level out a bit. Not nearly as steep as it was. There's some single track or maybe double track, but anyway, it's dirt over here. It's called the Chestnut Ridge Trails. Hayes got it marked on the map, and I just blew right past it, so I had to double back. So pay attention to your map. We're on the Chestnut Ridge Loop. We've come down to this intersection. We're going to be heading back this way, and it looks like labeled we're going to be on the John Muir Trail. It's also labeled as the Sheltowee Trace, which is pretty darn cool. But we're first going to head on out and see the No Business Overlook. Yeah, this is going to be fun climbing up. To the point in the trail where it says park your bike here and walk to the overlook. So in the map that Joe has prepared, he basically says park it before you get to the stairs. So that's where we are, and we're heading out to the No Business Overlook. So we're just grab a snack and gonna go take in the view. Riding on the Sheltowee Trace through here. One thing I love about Big South Fork are these rock outcroppings like this. Really cool. We've made it back to the Welcome Center, or the Visitor Center rather. And this is actually not where we started our journey. There's notes about calling the Visitor Center to figure out where to park. And then we were actually, after we called them, we were directed just to show up here. And folks were very, very nice. And Ranger basically told us we ended up getting a free permit to park our cars down at the group area. So that's where we are. But if you're needing parking and going to park at Picket, come in and see these nice folks and get directions about where to go. But we're going to make our way back to our vehicles. Been a great ride.
As always, we hope you found this content useful. If you did, please like the video and consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks.